And we're here. And we're here. Took a while this morning. I apologize. Um, had some internship thing uh, that I decided was a little urgent. Um, but man, is my place messy. But now we're here. Now we're here. Um, do. Yeah, we've been a little busy these past couple days. Let's get the little dude and let's draw like 2 to 3 faces, whatever we have time for. Cool. I'll just throw on a hoodie. It's cold in Denmark these days. And we'll just throw on some music. Damn, this is the latest I've ever been, I think. Let's see what to listen to, what to listen to. Probably clear the queue. All right, all right. And then one more album for the queue. Classic No Name. Cool. I think that should be enough. Finally, let's draw. Let's get going. And no stream this evening. So you get this hour and 10 minutes. And then you get something next Monday. You're not super happy with this drawing here. All right. Cool. Finally. All right. Well, slow morning. It happens once in a while. We just keep moving, right? Bought some new boots recently. That's what's new with me. Um, for like about $150, which is like a lot to pay for an article of clothing. But the idea, of course, is that you do that once, you buy good enough boots. They last you for a while, right? And they're supposed to be good enough boots, these ones. They're suede though, so I got to learn how to take care of suede. They have like a suede element to them. I'm trying to think rhythms. I'm trying to think simple, appealing marks. I am trying to be aware of my perspective all the while. And from this angle, you have to be aware that it's typically more dramatic than it seems because so much of the other features of the face, so much of them is obscured. Yeah, so the perspective is more dramatic than it seems. His nose is a little bit big. I looked a bit at Enemy's art yesterday. I don't know if you. What was it? This meant shout out. This artist is like really good. And what she does so well is there's almost like some Pixar elements to her faces in the way that the expressions and eyes are simplified, but also she draws very big, Well, maybe that's too much, but quite big and still quite appealing eyes. Excuse me. Which is, of course, very tempting to try and emulate. Yeah. I think I have it right here. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, it varies how much she does it, how big she draws the eyes. But that is one of the things that I notice that's different about her work. Let's look at that for a bit. She also does this thing which is quite smart where she doesn't necessarily connect the corners of the eyes, which just always helps to make them feel more like airy. Yeah. Very tempting to try and do that some more. But then also I think she generally has like a softer, rounder style than me. Which actually feels like a significant difference if you want to do stuff like this. It's really interesting. I see a lot of this Pixar-like animation style drawing in IPs like Riot. Like there's a lot of concept art that borrows from that sphere of stylization, right? I think Riot does it a lot. I see it in Araceli's work sometimes. I see it here in Enemy's work. It's not like a full Pixar, but it's definitely got influences from there. Ergo Josh. TB Choi. TB Choi. Sam does arts. Though he's not, I don't I don't know how much concept art he does. Which is just interesting because it's like a different direction for stylization than what I usually do. I usually go sharp and comic-y when I stylize my faces or my drawings in general. It's a very different vibe. So that was my attempt at drawing that face with a little bit of like a Pixar flair. I want to try it again with more of the feeling of the style that I usually try to hit. So many ways to draw noses, and I still haven't quite found a set of ideas that I like to employ. The timely mute to hide the sneeze. He's improving, he's learning. Big differences, obviously, in the eyes here between these two stylizations. Man, I'm still so torn. Which at this point, that feels pretty bad. Now I know that like my style, the one that I actually draw currently for more professional work, that it is more comic-y. But I still have that, that desire to like, oh, once in a while draw something that's like super anime or quite Pixar. Like I still have so many styles that I like drawing in, even though one is my main. Something about this. Yeah, that's more like how I would draw this face, typically. Though I still think, I don't know, I still think that could be optimized. I still think I could be a little bit bolder, a little bit braver. Push the shapes, push the ideas. Yeah. All right. That at least, I mean, feels interesting to me. All right. And moving on. I was gonna say this is kind of exactly the same face, but it's not. That's the point. It is tilted further away from us. And it is viewed less from below. Slightly. It's not the same face. I find that often a good way for me to find the distance, like the how deep set the eye is supposed to be, is to start by drawing out like the cheek. And then I kind of feel it out, see where it feels natural to place the eye. It's close, it's close. Something I don't understand about this mouth. You have this dome shape, three-dimensionally, looking at the mouth from below. So we're not seeing too much of the top of the bottom lip. I mean, it is that. This song is like one of the specific reasons that we listen to this album at all. Such a banger. Oh, it's the angle is more than I'm expecting. Yeah. This is not the perspective. This is the perspective. That's what's up. And since that's the perspective, the lips are quite foreshortened. The top of these lips doesn't take up too much space. It's a lot better. It still feels a little bit. This corner of the mouth should be lower. Feels pretty good. More lower lip. And then most of the time, I mean, it's a practical line, it's a practical mark to put in there. But most of the time, you really want to get rid of most of that jawline. Hmm. Not quite happy with how that face is going. Hmm. All right, let's try that one again. What do I want to do differently? The man's early. The man's late. The man's late. But I guess if the audience is too, then no one cares. I stream from 8 in the morning typically. But I was a little late today. Um, yeah. This is the system, right? We do studies in the morning. We do pieces in the evening. And then hopefully, we get all our macro gains, we get all our nutrients in the morning, and then I don't know what the actually I don't know what the metaphor is because it doesn't feel like we're eating dessert in the evening either. Still working. Maybe it's more like yeah, it's probably more like working out. It's like we're like climbing. We're doing our weight exercises in the morning, our supplementary work in the morning, and then in the evening we're going on the rock. We're bouldering. Trying to set some boulders, top some boulders. Not set, but like send them. You could do that. It's really important once in a while to zoom out, zoom to the moon. I'm kidding. That was unintentional. You can zoom out a little bit. That's good. That much. That is. This is unreasonable. All right. This mouth, and what did we figure out? We figured out that the top of the mouth is here and here. So that's the perspective. How's work going? Um, the internship's pretty good. Yeah. Um, some of the tasks I'm doing right now are some of the the less sexier tasks in that an illustration studio might have, but it's all fine. Um, it is all good. And then in terms of personal projects, it's a little bit dry at the moment. I'm trying to kick off a new project. Um, but with internship and the stream, um, which I should probably count the stream as personal work. Um, though it just feels a little bit different sometimes. Um, yeah, so with those things, I'm still figuring out how to find time for a personal project as well, which I think is quite important. How about you? Internship ends at the end of this month. And then they gotta start paying me if they want to keep working with me. Get that monies, yeah, for sure. Same old, took a month's study break from portfolio. Gonna start posting again today. Okay, you're gonna start posting again today. Do you have like a good backlog worked up or a good backlog ready? You are the backlog. I see. You got a piece ready and the rest you just go week by week. Nice. Nice. Do you feel like when you come off of a study break like that, do you feel like you've made tangible progress? Do you feel like when you start doing your pieces again that they'll be better? Sometimes. Sometimes. Okay. It's not a bad answer. Some studies are slow earners while some make it click. Hmm. That's nice. That's nice. Slow burners. Slow burners? Probably. Who knows? I catch your drift, so. Gestures in construction, always something to get better at. Improvement shows slowly in finished pieces. Yeah. Rendering is a huge change. Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, I talk about this all the time, but the reason I'm asking, right, is because that experience of having it click, I don't have too much. But then again, most of my studies are just drawing related. Most of what I care about, most of what I'm trying to learn is just drawing related. And it's also been my experience that those are then the studies that you just don't get the same sort of like instant gratification from. From what you can see, I'm quite analytical in my approach. Less of a click and more of a repetition until I can apply it. The big aha moments happen when you learn it, not when you learn to execute. That's interesting. That's interesting. That would make it very, very rare to get big aha moments in drawing. Maybe not very, very rare, but you know, the big moments you crave in drawing is not theoretically learning how to draw a box. It's being able to do it from any angle that you'd like to at any point in time. The big aha moment in drawing is not theoretically learning that, oh, or the big aha moment that you crave in drawing is not theoretically learning that, oh, all of these lines are supposed to be in the same perspective. That's not the big aha moment. The big aha moment, or the what you really want to see is just being able to do that naturally every time. I try to be quite analytical. It's what I see a lot of my favorite artists do, and how I see a lot of my favorite artists progress is through being very analytical. But then again, I mean, specifically with drawing, I know a lot of artists that are really, really, really good that seem to be more intuitive artists and have just like drawn a lot, put in the hours, you know? Cared about drawing enough that they just did it so much that now it's no big deal. I think you're also right there that a lot of like painting, rendering, material, lighting, Jacob Grinder. I'm a big proponent of spending enough time with a subject that you really get a sense that you've progressed, or that at least I mean, that would be the ideal, right? Spending enough time with a specific subject that you feel like you've progressed. Sure, that's the ideal. Um, when I rarely get that, at least I change the definition to like, or the goal to being spending enough time with a subject that you've probed the depths of it, that you haven't just treated it like on a surface level. You've asked all the questions that you have and you've tried to get answers to them maybe a couple times. Then fair enough. At some point, you got to move on. The ideal would definitely be, oh, just spend enough time with the subject that you feel a certain sense of progression. But again, since I struggle a bit with that, it's just let me at least try and go in depth with the topic that I'm studying. Usually not one interval. It's doing it, then something else, then coming back to it, reaffirming what you know, see what stuck, what didn't. Plain change of the jaw didn't click. Took a bunch of learning, stopping, relearning until it stuck. Yeah, maybe it's just that, man. Maybe it's just that. I just hate that sense of um maybe that's just it. It's a really punishing loop though. If you can't do it all in one interval, it's a really punishing loop to have to be able to do something one day, then put it away for one day, and then come back and not be able to do it again. And then feel like you have to relearn it from the bottom. And I guess the punishing nature of that loop always made me feel like there must be a way to just learn it properly in a way where it sticks. But hey, maybe not. Were you really able to do it in the first place then? Isn't that a counter argument to your own statement? Because then you could have done it in the first interval if you just went harder. No? Say you feel like you figured out the how to draw the jaw, and then you take a break, and then you come back, and you can't draw the jaw, and it was because you couldn't in the first place. Well, then it's not a matter of needing to go back from it and leave it and come back. Then it's just a matter of you should have spent more time with it originally. No. I mean, tell me what I'm missing, but those two statements seem antithetical to me. Or you needed some time to let other info take over. You needed some time to let other info take over. Right, okay, but say you know there's a plane change. In that same bout of studying, you could spend enough time to be able to apply it practically, no? And then doesn't it feel like there should be a way where you can leave that session or that streak of studies knowing how to do it in a way where when you return next time, you'll still be able to do it? You don't know how much stuck until you let it go and then come back to it. Hmm. Who knows, man? Well, I don't think it's different for me. I mean, we're having this conversation because I very rarely have that feeling of progressing. Like, definitionally, no doubt, progressing, right? And the fact that I don't have that feeling sometimes makes me doubt, right, whether or not I'm studying right. Anyway, anyway. Whoops. Not like this. Sure. All right. Um, yeah. Let's conclude. We did, I guess, just these 5 faces today. Not that one. These 5. And then it's like, what did we learn? Um, on an upshot profile view, the perspective lines often cheat the eye because the far corners of what you're trying to observe will be covered. Just don't get fooled by that. Look at like the brows and then know that every single line on that face is actually following those brows. Draw using that knowledge. I caught myself making that mistake with this drawing here, where I was drawing the top of the lip like this. And almost feels like that's in perspective, but it so clearly is not when you just look at the brows. Yeah. So on upshot profiles, dramatic upshot profiles, just be aware that you got to focus up a little bit when observing the perspective lines. All right. That'll be like my conscious observation for today. And then the rest, we'll see if it sticks. We'll see if it sticks. All right. Thanks for joining the stream today. As it is Friday, there will be no stream this evening. So I will catch you guys again Monday morning. Monday morning, I'll be back with more streaming, more drawing. Catch you in the next one. And thanks for the discussion. A good, nourishing discussion. Catch you in the next one.